What is up YouTube, it's Beautiful Flex, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the top weighted calisthenics equipment to use. I had a comment on one of my videos about weighted pull-ups, and the comment basically said as soon as he gets a chain he's going to start training them soon. And I was thinking, is he talking about a weighted chain? Because I've trained with a weighted chain before. I've spent a lot of money on 3 of them and it was a complete waste of time. So I hope this video is informative to tell you what equipment you guys should get, because I've pretty much used all the weighted calisthenics equipment and I don't want you guys to think some of them are better than they actually are. It might look good for a video, but a lot of them were a waste of time and a waste of money, actually.
If you want a weighted calisthenics training program, check the description box and get my gravity chamber training program, or get all my calisthenics training programs by purchasing Calisthenics Camp. Calisthenics Camps has over 3 years worth of training programs and lifetime access, so you will continue to get additional programs in the future with no additional cost. There's 9 programs there already, 4 strength and muscle programs along with 5 skill programs ranging from the handstand, muscle up and all the way to the planche push-up. Visit my website or click the link in the description box. Alright, now back to the video.
So number 1, a weighted chain. You might have seen it on an old Mike Rashid video, you know, doing dips. These are for weightlifting. Don't do them for calisthenics. They look sick. They look so cold. But for one, they're not heavy enough. If I'm not mistaken, one weighs about 12 kilos. So you need 2 for it to be a decent-ish workout. And really, you can't use them for that many exercises. You can only use them for pull-ups and dips. And as I said, if you want to start making it heavy, especially if you can do the numbers I can do on weight pull-ups or weight dips or weight chin-ups, you're gonna need so many chains. It's gonna hurt. It's not gonna fit. It's just completely pointless. It looks cold though. You don't even need a lot of weight for it to look good. It looks great, but it is completely pointless. And also it costs upwards of $120, like the equivalent of that. Obviously I use pounds, so over £100 for I think that amount of weight roughly. So for what you get, it is completely nonsensical. As I said, it's good for weightlifting equipment, but if you're talking about calisthenics, it's pointless. And I don't even know if it's good for weightlifting. I know it can be used for weightlifting, but I just know in calisthenics it's completely pointless. So 0 out of 5 stars. Do not get them. Weighted vest. I'm gonna give a weighted vest maybe 2 or maybe 3 out of 5 stars. Let's just say 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, let's just say 3 out of 5, maybe 2.5, or let's just say 3 out of 5 stars. All right, this costs anywhere from $60 to $130. It is quite costly. If you want a decent one, it's going to be about $130, the equivalent of that. I said I use pounds, so it's definitely about £100. But you can't really load it with a lot of weight. The most amount of weight I've seen is about 60 pounds, but more time it's about 45 pounds or 20 kilos, right? Which to me is completely pointless for most exercises. Although I train quite differently, so I use them pretty much every day. Not every day, every training day, every like strength and conditioning training day. So I use them often. But if you're talking about strictly calisthenics, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, it's completely pointless in my opinion. Not completely, I mean it's beginner friendly. If it was just for those calisthenics moves and you're trying to progress in your strength, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5, maybe a 1.5 out of 5. But if you're talking about everything, if you like jump training, it can be useful. If you want to do like handstand push-ups and load handstand push-ups, they're very useful. If you want to do one-arm push-ups, weighted one-arm push-ups, they're very useful. But or just push-ups and explosive push-ups, ballistic training is useful. And jump training, as I said, if you want to do depth jump, stuff like that, it's very useful. But if you're prioritizing, you know, the key lifts in calisthenics, the chin-ups, the pull-ups, the muscle-ups, the dips, potentially it's all right for muscle ups, but for dips, you never, once you get strong enough, as I said, more time it's going to be about 45 pounds or 20 kilos. And if you get strong in calisthenics, that's going to be your warm-up, right? Like you're not going to be doing that in general. So it's kind of the amount of money you spend on it for the amount that you get back is kind of nonsensical. Now, if you don't want to work out at a gym and you prefer working out at home or in the park and money is not a limiter, then maybe it's useful. But I would personally say I'd advise you to work more with the leverages. So if you're doing pull-ups, make it harder by working on leverages or doing explosive training than getting a weighted vest. Unless you've already started doing one-arm pull-ups or one-arm push-ups, as I said, then maybe this can actually be helpful because the exercise is so hard and the leverage is so difficult that adding small amounts of weight can actually be beneficial. But otherwise, I would actually just advise you go onto the next piece of equipment. You get a gym membership and you use the next piece of equipment. The weighted vest has the most amount of uses. You can pretty much use it for every single exercise, which is why I can't really say it's below a 2.5 out of 5. It must be at least a 3 out of 5. To me, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 because I use it a lot. But if I think about all the exercises and the amount of weight you can load, it's not that useful. But as I said, I've even used them on runs. I don't anymore, obviously my knees can't take it, but I have used on runs and they've been all right, you know. So I do like weighted vests, but it all depends on your style of training. But for most people, I wouldn't recommend a weighted vest, but I would still say it could be useful. With the amount of money you spend, might as well just get a gym membership. Next up, a weight belt. This is a weight belt, and this piece of equipment here, this is probably the best equipment to get, right? I'd still say alongside the weighted vest, but if money is limited, then obviously just get this, in my personal opinion. It costs around $20, the equivalent of that, just about around that amount. So there's not a lot of money you need to spend on it. And if you have a gym membership, you've got unlimited weight. It doesn't have that many uses though, so you can't do like handstand push. I mean, you can, but it's really risky. I wouldn't do it. You can't really do push-ups. It's like a whole long ass setup. You might as well just bench. But you can do things like weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups, weighted muscle-ups, weighted dips, and you can load a whole bunch of weight with. So the benefit to this is you can add a whole bunch of weight and you can travel with it quite easily. If you take a weighted vest to the gym, it's quite heavy to carry and all that stuff. But this one, you just carry a chain and then the gym has the rest of your equipment. So it is pretty good. You can also add small increments of weight. You can also add a whole bunch of weight. You know, my max weight chin-up's 85 kilos. So my max dip is like 90 kilos. So you can add a whole bunch of weight. Whereas a weighted vest, you only need at least, for my weighted chin-up or my weighted dip, you will need at least 4 weighted vests to get to that number. You can't wear 4 weighted vests. I mean, I haven't seen anyone do it. So yeah, a weighted belt is definitely the best piece of equipment in my personal opinion. Of course, it may necessitate a gym membership unless you've already got some weights at home, some weight plates and stuff like that. You might need a gym membership. In the long term, believe it or not, obviously it might cost more in the long term, but actually just buying the weights yourself might actually be beneficial. You'll spend about $50, the equivalent of $50 on a weight plate that weighs 45 pounds or 20 kilos. And if you buy, let's say 3 over the course of time, and then some small weights like 10 kilo weights, right? Over the course of time, it might pay back an investment. But obviously that's expensive to begin with, so I'm not necessarily saying, but obviously that might be quite costly to begin with, so I'm not saying you should do that. But if you do, you can also use it at home, but more time, you're probably gonna need a gym membership, but that's not all bad, right? Another thing is you can't do extra stuff, as I said already. You can't be like explosive, you can't do ballistic training really with that. You can't do like one-arm push-ups, you can't do leg training really. You know, there's ways around it, but it's all pretty inconvenient. You can't really do all that stuff. So that is the limiter. But other than that, I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. For me, probably like a 4 out of 5. But if it was just about chin-ups and dips and pull-ups, it'd probably be a 5 out of 5. So 4.5 out of 5, I'd give the weight belt. Lastly, we have the adjustable weighted vest. Guys, this is utter garbage. I'm sorry, all the people who are making this, I apologize to disrespect your business venture, but I must say, to me, it is completely pointless. I would recommend all of you guys stay away from it. It is pointlessly expensive. You're going to spend over $150 on this piece of equipment and there's no weight with it. So why does it cost so much? I have no idea. You still need other equipment for it. So why does it cost more than a traditional weight vest, but it gives you no weight with it? I don't know. Just be aware of that. It's basically like a weight belt. You know, you need the gym membership or you need equipment to add to it for it to be effective, but it's less convenient. It's uncomfortable. It's not as comfortable as a weight vest. I'm gonna say a regular traditional weight vest where you have either sandbags or like metal pieces you put into it. It's not as convenient for that. You can't do as much ballistic training. You can't jump train and stuff like that. In theory, you can load it with more weight, which is the better thing. It's meant to be like a weighted vest. That is just better. But really, for one, the cost, let's just go back to the cost. It's a waste of money. I wasted a lot of money on that, which I never did because it was complete pointless. For 2, it feels awkward with the loading. You realize a weighted vest isn't really great for having a whole bunch of weight on it anyways. Alongside it, the weight that you put on, if you, let's say you want to do like what I said with weighted vest, you can do like handstand push-ups and stuff. The thing that you put on your chest to put the weight on it, it's too long. It's uncomfortable. You can't do push-ups because it's too long. And if you use the shorter one, because they have one that's not as long basically, you end up not being able to fit the actual weight plate on it because the weight plate is too thick. Right? So it ends up being completely pointless. You can't do push-ups with them. You can't go low enough, or you can't add enough weight to it. Can't do handstand push-ups with them, and they're just uncomfortable. It seems like a great idea But in my opinion, it's a complete waste of your time and your money. Or as I said, over 100, and by the way, I'm saying it's over $150. I spent the equivalent of $300, just about $300 on a piece of equipment that didn't even have weight on it. Like, no weight. It's completely a waste of your money. So just get either, let me just summarize this video, either you get a weight belt, which I recommend, just get a gym membership with it, or you get a weighted vest. Be careful though when you do get a weighted vest, the normal one, not an adjustable weight one. And by the way, by adjustable, I mean the one that you add weight onto it. All weighted vests are adjustable. Be cautious though, because if you get a weighted vest and it's really cheap or don't have a lot of good reviews on it, then you will find that likely it doesn't actually have weights in it. It's just a vest that you can then put external weight into, if that makes any sense. You want a weight vest that comes with weight, which is likely going to cost, as I said, about $120, right? So it's quite costly. So I said weight belt, number one, weight vest, number two, the other weight vest, the adjustable weight vest is a 0 out of 5. Complete waste time, don't get it. And the weight chain, as I said, unless you're doing weightlifting, is pointless. If you guys want weighted calisthenics training, check out my training plan, Gravity Chamber. This is a 12-week training program where the focus is weighted calisthenics. If you can't do that and you want to still get stronger, but you don't really have weighted equipment, then check out Leverage. It's the same focus on getting stronger, but just using leverages without weight. If you want both of those training plans alongside 7 other training programs, strength programs, and skill programs, then check out Calisthenics Camp. Alright guys, hope this video helped you guys out. Speak for Flex, I'm out.